Okay, guys, so we're gonna start with the song. It's standard tuning, and we're gonna learn the song in different parts. Of course, it's the only way to learn the song because it's really long. So make sure you have time for this. Okay, it's gonna be a long tutorial. So we're gonna start at first doing the following. We're gonna do. The next part is gonna be. Alright, we're going to start doing that. So we need to go to the 8th fret of the B and the E string. We're going to do 8 of the B, 8 of the E. Then we need to go to 10 of the E. And now what we're going to be doing is, that's the first thing, we're going to do that, sorry. We're going to go to 10, since we are on the 10th already. We strike on the 10, we do a hammer on to 11, and we go back to 10. And then we go to 8 of the E string and we finish on 11 of the B and 8 of the B string doing a hammer on to 9. Alright, that's the idea. We're gonna do that. So if you listen to the original track, this section, we play exactly the exact same notes, but sometimes it's a little bit faster, sometimes a little bit shorter. So in this case, the first part, it's kind of a little bit faster. Something like that. All right. So the next part is going to be, we do that. So we go to 9 of the B string, and as soon as we strike, we do a hammer on to the 11. All right. After we do that, we go to 8 of the E string and we strike again on the 8 and we do a hammer on to 10 and we go back to 8 of the E string. Then we go to 11 of the B string and 10 on the G and we slide to the 12th. All right, let's go again. One more time. Right, so far we have the following. Alright, so next thing is going to be we're going to do that. So we go to 8 of the B, 9 of the B, and then 11th of the B string. Then we need to strike 11 again, but as soon as we do, we strike, we do a slide to 13 and go back to 11. That's the movement. Then 9 of the B, 8 of the B, and we do that. We go to the G string, the 3rd string, we strike 8, and we do a hammer on to 10. And then we kind of repeat the same motion, but without the hammer on. We do 8 and 10 again. Let's go one more time. Next section. We do something like that. So we do 10 on the G string, 8 of the B, 9 of the B, and then we need to strike again, 9, but as soon as we do, we go to 11, and then we finish 9, 8, 10 of the G string, and 8 of the G string. So I don't know what happened there. Let's go again. Alright, so we do something like that. And to finish, we're gonna finish it like that. Since we are on the 8 of the G string, we go to 10 now on the D string, right? I'm sorry, on the G string, 10 on the G. So we strike 10 on the G, and I'm doing kind of a bar between the G string and the D string. I'm doing a bar because we need to strike 10 on the G and 10 on the B and 10 on the D string again. On the 3rd and the 4th. So by making a bar, I'm just, saving time. So 10 on the G, 10 on the D string, then we go 8 on the D, and now what we need to do is we do that movement. We strike 10 on the A string, we slide to the 8, and we go to 6. Or you can do it, just a pull off. Something like that. Then what we do, we start again, but we go to the 8th position on the A string, and we strike 8, we do a hammer on to 10th, and then we go back to 6. Everything happens on the A string. And we finish by going to the 8 of the E string. So let's go again one more time. Let's go again one more time with this whole first part, the entire section in a slow tempo. Next section. Alright, so it's kind of weird playing everything in a real slow tempo, but well, that's what we need to do. So let's go with the next part. Okay, so the next section is going to be, we're going to start just like we did previously. So right here we kind of repeat the same section. Then we again repeat the same section again. So we need to play the exact same thing. But then it changes a little bit. What we need to do is we do that. So again, it's the same idea, but we need to make some small changes. So we strike on the 8 of the B string, and we do 8, and I do a slide to the 9th position. Then go 11 on the B string, and then we strike 11 again. We do slide to 13, back to 11. All right? And now I'm gonna make a bar between the B string and the G string, and strike on the 9 of the B string, slide to the 8th position, and then I do 8 on the G string and hammer on, or you can slide to the 10th of the G string. Let's go again. Or with a slide. And to finish, we do that. Back to 8 and hammer on to 10th. And to finish, we finish it like that. So we strike on the 10th of the G string, then 8 on the B string, hammer on to 9, and then what we do 9 again, slide to 11, and then 9 on the B string, and we finish it like this. We go 8, hammer on to 9, and back to 8. And to finish, 10 on the G string and slide to 12. Alright, let's go one more time. Alright, so let me play this section and we move to the next one. That one, was kind of the same. And now we change things a little bit. And we're finished. Alright, let's go with the next section. Okay, so the next section we're going to start doing the following. There's a long sustain. So we're going to do something like that. So we start on the 12th of the G string, 12, then we go to 13 of the B string, and on the E string we go to 13, right? So 12, 13, 13. Now as soon as we go to the E string, we need to strike and do a bend. And what we do one bend, we kill the note, there's no release, we don't do that. We do bend, kill the note, and then we make a new bend, all right? And this one has a long sustain. Very long sustain. And when we are done with that note, we need to strike it, and I'm still doing the bend. We strike, we do the release, we go to 11, and then we go back to 13, and we do that. We strike on the 13, and we do a slow bend. And when we are done with the bend, we kill the note. You know, same thing we did previously. So let's go back again. And when we are done with the sustain, next thing. So we do something like that. We do 12 of the G string, 11 of the B string, and 10 of the E string. And as soon as we do that, we go to 13 of the E string, and we strike it twice. Then we go to 11 of the E string, and we go back to the 13 of the E string to make a bend. So what we do when we go back to 13 of the E string and we do that bend is just one bend, okay? It's a long bend. We do the bend, and when we are done with the bend, we strike it again, we do the release, we go to 11, all right? And then we're gonna go back to 13 of the E string, and we do that. 13, pull off to 11, and back to 13. And when we are back to 13, it's kind of a, you know, it's kind of a tiny bend, but it's, you know, really small. Okay, so let me go again with the section. Long bend. That's the idea. So one more time. Long bend. Long bend. All right, so let's go with the next section. The next section is going to be 13 and back again. We do that. We do 3 bends, and remember that there's no release. We just need to do the bend, kill the note, and then go to the next bend. So we do 3 bends, and the third one, it's a little bit longer. And when we are done with the third bend, we do a release, we go to 11 on the E string, and we finish on the 13 of the B string, all right? And it's kind of a fast movement. And then what we're gonna do, and now it's gonna make sense, we do that, all right? So 3 bends, then release, we go to 11, 13, and now we do. So what we do, we go to 13 of the E string, we strike it, we do a pull off to 11, and then a slide from 11 to 10, all right? Or maybe if you're using 3 fingers, you can do 3 pull offs, you know, completely up to you. So 13, pull off to 11, 11, slide to 11, 13, pull off to 11, 11, slide to 10. And then what we do that. We do 11, pull off to 10, and 12 of the 13, all right? 12 of the G string. And to finish that section, we do that. We go to the G string, and 10 on the G, pull off to 8, and 8, slide to 7. Let's go again with that section. Okay, so next section and final part of this one. We do that. So after that part, what we go to 11 of the E string, and we do a long bend, you know, with attitude. So after we do the bend, and when we are on the higher part of the bend, we strike it again, and we do the release, all right? And as soon as we do the release, we go to 8 of the E string, 11 of the B, and 8 of the B, all right? So the next part is gonna go 10 on the G string. And we do that movement. We strike it, we do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 8. So next one is gonna be, we do that, and it's kind of a, you know, hard movement. It's a fast movement. After we do the release and the bend and the release, the bend and the pull off, we go 10 of the D string, 8 of the D string, And when we go to 8 of the D string, we do a bar on the whole fret because we need to go to 8 of the B, 8 of the G, and finish on the on the 10 of the D string. Just let me show you. Now, this one, going from 10 to 8, it's a little bit uncomfortable. So what you can do, you can skip the 8 and just stay on 10 for a longer period. Let me show you. And then, really slow tempo makes no sense, but if we go fast, according to the original track, it's a little bit better. So as soon as we finish on the 10, right now I'm just finishing on the 10 and I'm not covering the 5th string, the A string. So what we can do, we need to cover the 8 of the 4th of the D string and the 8 of the E string, because then we're gonna need to strike it. So it's faster this way. So then, after we finish on the 10 of the D string, we go to 10 on the D string again. Then on the A string, we do 10, pull off, or you can do a slide, up to you. And then go to 6 of the A string. We go to 8 of the E, strike twice, and we need to make a bar on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we strike just one time, and we strike and kill the notes. So let's go one more time with this tiny lick. Let's go one more time with the whole section again. Slow tempo, and then we just move forward to the next one, all right? Let's go again. Long band. That's what we're going to do first. So we start on the 10th of the D string, all right? 10 of the D. And then what we do is, we do 7, we do that, sorry for that. So we go to G string after the 10th, we go to G string, 7, and then 8. And then what we do is 8 again, hammer onto 10, and we go 8 on the B. Let's go again. All right, and now we're gonna kind of repeat the same motion, but we start on the 8 of the D string. So we do 8, and I will recommend to do a bar on the 8 of the D string, and then 8 on the G, hammer onto 10, and then 8 on the B string. Let's go again. So now we're gonna repeat the last movement, 8 on the D, hammer on, and 8 on the B, so we just kind of repeat the same thing twice. And then to finish, we do that, 8 on the D string and 10th on the G string. Let's go again. Now to move forward, we do that. We go back to the G string on the 8, so we go to 8, 10, 8, and then 7 of the B string, strike it, slide to 8, and we finish on the 11th of the B string. So now we're going to repeat the same motion, 8 on the D string, and as soon as we strike 8 on the D string, we quickly go to the B string and do the same motion, 7, slide to 8, and 11. That's the idea. All right, sorry. So we start, and then, and now to finish, so we do that. We strike 8 again on the D string, and then on the B string, 8, we go to 11, we strike it twice, then 8 on the B again, back to 11, and now 8 on the E string. right? Let's go again. Okay, so the next section, I'm gonna play this section first, and then of course we go note by note. All right. After that, we do that bend, and then we're gonna do that. That's the next part. So after we do with that, we finish on the 8 of the E string. We're gonna go to 11 of the B string, and we do a bend. All right. So after the bend, we go to 8 on the E string, back to 11 without the bend. Then we go to 10 of the G string, and when we go to 10 of the G string, we do a bend, a release, and then we go to 8 of the G. And now what we need to go to 10 of the D. Now in a slow tempo makes no sense, so let me play in a little bit, slower tempo. So not slower, more like the original tempo. So that's the movement. So after we finish on the 10th of the D string, we do that. We kind of go back to that sound. So we go 8 on the G string, hammer on to 10th, and then 8 of the B string, all right? That's what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna change things a little bit. We're gonna do a bar on the D and the G string. So we do 10 of the D, 10 of the G, and then 8 of the B string, right? Next, we're gonna repeat the same thing, but when we go to 10 of the G string, we kind of do a tiny bend or maybe a vibrato. So we do, so let me show you. All right, so next section. So we do that. So we go 8 on the E string, 11 on the B, 8 on the B. And as soon as we do that, we go again back to 10 of the G string. So we strike it, we do a bend, a release, we go to 8 on the G, and now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a bar, we're gonna make a bar on the 4th string, on the D string, and the G string, because we need to strike 10 on the D and 10 on the G. And after we do that, we need to make a bar on the B string of the on the B string and the G string, because we need to go 8 on the B and 8 on the G. Just let me show you. That's how it sounds. After we do, we're gonna do. And now the final lick of this section, we do something like that. Since we are on the 8 of the G string, we go to 10 on the G and we do a pull off to 10. Then we just repeat the same motion but on the D string, 10, pull off to 8. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the same thing we did previously. 10, slide to 8, pull off to 6, and then 8, slide to 10, 6, and we finish on the 8 of the E string. So let me play this whole part, and then we just move forward to the next one. Alright, so the next part, let me play the whole section, and then of course we go note by note. That part is the same. That part as well. So we're gonna do something like that. Now the first two sections, the first two parts are the same. We just need to repeat again, That part is just the same thing as we did previously. Now the second part, that part again is the same. So when we're gonna change things is after the bend, you know? After that bend, we change things a little bit. And what we're gonna do is, that's the first lick. So we go to 8 of the E string, we strike 8, then 11 of the B, 8 on the B, and then what we need to do, we need to go to 10 of the G, and we do a bend, all right? And now let me tell you, this first, 3 notes are a little bit slower than the rest. We need to do it kind of a staccato mode. If you listen to the original track, it sounds like this. And then everything else, it's a little bit faster. So again, say 8, 10, 8, and 10, and we do the bend, right? So after with the bend, we do a bar on the 8 of the B string, we strike 8 and 8 again. And to follow up, we do 11 on the B string, pull off to 8. Let's go again. And now, we do something like that. We go to 10 of the G string, we do a bend, a release, a pull off to 8, and then 10 of the D string. And now again, we're gonna go to 8 on the B, 8 on the G, we do a hammer on to 10th, everything on the G, and now on the B string we do 8 and 8. So let me go slow tempo. So next section. So what we do, pretty much, the same thing, same movement. We go to 10 of the G string, we strike and we do a bend, and then 8 on the B, 8 on the E. Right? Classic movement. Then 11 on the B string, we strike it, and we do a pull off to the 8. Same idea, same idea. And now we change things a little bit. We start the same way, 10, we do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 10, but we finish on the 10 of the G string, then 10 of the D string, then 8 of the G, and then 10 of the G, and slide to the 12th. Let's go again. And to finish this section, we do that. So we go to 10 of the A string. So we do 10, and you can do slide or you can do hammer on, doesn't matter. Now we're gonna go to the D string, and we kind of repeat the same thing, but a little bit different. We strike 10, and then we go to 12, and as soon as we do 12, we do a slide to the 14. That's the idea. And to finish, we do that. We strike 12 of the G string. Next, we strike 12 again, but we do a hammer on and a pull off back to 12, and we repeat the same idea. So let's go again. Oh, sorry, let's go again. All right, so let me play the whole section because this was the final part. And then of course we need to move forward to the next one, but I'm gonna play the entire section in this kind of a slow tempo, let's say, and then we move forward. All right, so the next section. Alright, so we're gonna do that. So we're gonna start the same way we started previously. We go to the 12 on the G string, then 13, on the B string, and on the E we go to 13 again. So when we go to the 13 of the E string, we do one bend, and then we do one more bend, all right? Now the second bend, it's really long. We need to wait a little bit. And when we are done with that bend, we do that. We strike it again, we do the release, we go to 11 of the E string, and then back to 13. And after we do that, we go back to 11 on the E string, go back again to 13 on the E, we do one bend, again, and then we do the release, pull off to 11, hammer on to 13, pull off back to 11, and hammer on to 13. All right? I know it's kind of confusing. Let me just play the section slow tempo. I'm gonna do this a little bit shorter. All right, so notice we do bend, release, bend, then release, pull off, and then pull off. Next section. We do that. Again, we stay on the 13 on the E string, we do one bend, we do the bend again, and then we do the release, go to 11, 13, and as soon as we go to back to 13 again, we do that motion. So we strike on the 14th of the E string, do a pull off to 13, then 13 pull off to 11, and then same idea, 13 pull off to 11, and 11 pull off, or you can do a slide from 11 to 10. That's the movement. Now to move forward, we do that. We go to 11 on the E string, we do one bend, then we do the release, and we strike 8 off the E, 11 and 8 on the B, and then we do that. We go to 10 on the G string, we do one bend, a release, and a pull off back to 8, and we finish by 10 on the D string, and we need to make a bar on the second string and the third string, the B and the G, and strike 8 of the B, 8 of the G, and then we finish on the 10th of the D string. Then we go again. One more time. Next part. We're gonna do that. We go to the D string, strike on the 8, hammer on to 10, and then we strike 8 twice on the G string. Then we repeat the same idea, but we do 8, hammer on to 10, but instead of striking the G string, we go to the B string, and we do 8 twice. Next section. We do that. That's the movement. We start on the 8 of the B string, then 11 and 9. Then we kind of start again, 8 on the B string, 11, 9, and we finish back on 8. That's the movement. Next section. We're gonna do that. We go to the G string and we strike 10 on the G string. We do, as soon as we strike 10 on the G string, we do a bend, a release, and a pull off to the 8. Alright? And to move forward, 10 on the D string, then 10 on the G, and we do a pull off to the 8th string. And to finish, 10 on the D string, we go to 8 on the D string again, and hammer on to 10, and we finish on the B string twice on the 8 position. All right, so let's go again. All right, let me play the section a little bit faster because, you know, kind of in slow tempo makes no sense. Sorry. And to finish, we do that. After we strike 8 twice, we strike again 8 and we do a hammer on to the 11. And then after we do the hammer on, we slide to the 13. And after we do the slide, we strike 13 again, and we finish on the 11 of the E string. Sorry, let's go again. All right, hammer on, slide, 13, and then 11. Okay, so next movement. We're gonna do that. So we need to make a bar on the 8 of the B and the E string, all right? And you need to keep that position and then of course play someplace else. But first we're gonna start there. So we go to 8 on the B string and 8 on the E string. That's the idea. And then we do that movement. We go to 11 on the E string and then we go to 10 and we do 10, hammer on to 11, pull off back to 10 and then 10, pull off back to 8. That's why I would recommend to make a bar right here. That's the movement. All right? So what we do, we repeat the same motion several times. All right? And after we finish, we're gonna do that. So we go to 11, we do a bend, a release, and then we're gonna do that. Again, we kind of repeat the same idea. 10, hammer on to 11, 11, pull off to 10, and 10, pull off to 8. And then what we do is 10, pull off to 8, and we go to this B string and we do 9, pull off to 8. Let me show you. That's the idea. And to finish, we're gonna do that. So again, we go back again to 9, pull off to 8, and we finish on 10, pull off to 8 on the G string, and we finish on the 10th of the D string. Again, one more time. All right, there we go. So the next part is gonna be, so if you listen to the original track, this section, it's really long, this bend, you know, after we do the last bend, there's a long sustain on that note. So what we do, we start by playing on the E string on the 8, we do a hammer on to 11, and then we go to 13. And what we're gonna do kind of a 4 or 5 bends. That's the idea. And then the last bend has a long sustain. And to move forward, after we do these long bend, we're gonna do that. So again, long bends, and then what we do, after we finish with the long bend, we do the release and we go to 11 on the E string. And what we do, we strike 11 several times. And after we do that, we strike 11 one more time, and we go to 8 on the E string and we strike it twice. Let me show you. After we go to 8 and strike it twice, we go to the B string and we strike on the 11 of the B string and we do a long bend. So again, after we do the bend, we're gonna do that. Strike 8 on the E string, 11 on the B string, 8 on the B string, and then we go to 10th of the G and we do a bend, all right? After we do the bend, there's two ways you can do this. You can do the release and strike 10 on the G again, 8 on the G, and then we go to 10 on the D, 8 pull to 10 on the G string, and we finish that way by striking on the 8 of the B and 8 on the G. Let me show you how all of this gets pulled together, and then I'm going to show you in a slow tempo and a different way to do it. That's the idea. Now what you can do that. When we do that, you can just do the bend, the release, and the pull off to 10. It's a little bit easier. Notice the difference? Or the other way. Right? So you can do that. So after we do 8 on the B and 8 on the G string, what we do is we're gonna do something like that. We're gonna do something like, there we go. You know, I was confused. I was getting confused with a different section. So we're gonna do that. So we start on the D string, 10, pull off to 8 on the D string, and then again we just go back to the same resource. We go to 10 on the A, slide to 8, and then 6 on the A, and back to 8, slide to 10. But this time we're gonna finish on the 8 of the D string, doing 8 and hammer on to 10. So it's kind of a, that's the movement. Let me show you this section. All right, a little bit faster. Okay, so the next section. So we're going to start doing that, and we kind of repeat the same lick 4 times. But the first one, we do something, and then we gotta make some tiny changes. So after we finish, when we finish like that, we finish on the 10th of the D string. So we're gonna start again on the 10 of the D string, and we're gonna do that 10 on the D string, then 7, 8, and 10 on the G, and then we do that movement, 8 on the B string and 10 on the G. And then we repeat it again, 10 on the B, 8 on the B string and 10 on the G. All right, one more time. Now what we do that on the B string, we go to 11, 9, 8, and then back to 9 on the B and back to 8. That's the movement. Now, again, we're gonna do 9, and when we do 9 on the B string, we do a pull off to 8. And now we follow on the 10 of the G string, 10, pull off to 8, and hammer on back to 10, and we finish on the 8 of the B string. So, that's the movement, a little bit slower. Now the next one, we start the same way. That's the parts, you know, it's just the same. Then we're gonna do that, and again, it's kind of the same until that part we just play the same thing. But now we're gonna change it. We're gonna do that. So instead of just playing the 8 on the B string, we do a slide from 6 to 8. And then we finish again the same way, right, with the same lick. Next part, we just repeat the same section. Okay, and this is the 3rd round. Now the next round, we start the same way, we pretty much do the same thing, but we change it at the end. We're gonna start until that part is just the same, and until that part is just the same. But then we're gonna do that same thing we did previously. Strike on the 8, hammer on to 11, and as soon as you do the hammer on, you slide to 13. And after the slide on 13, we strike one more time, and we go to 11 and we strike twice. Right? This time we strike 11 twice. On the previous one, we strike 11 once, but in this one, we do it twice. Okay, so next section. Okay, so we're gonna do that before we go to the really fast part of the song. So we start on the 13 of the G string, and we do that movement. It's kind of a sweeping motion. 13 on the G, 12 on the B, and 11 on the E string. That's the idea. And after we do that, we go to 13 of the E string, and you do, just a bend several times. And after we are done with the bends, we do the release, and we go to 11 on the E string, and we strike 4 times. After we do it 4 times, we're going to do that lick. We go back to 13 on the E string, we do a bend, a release, a off to 11, back to 13 without doing a bend, and then back to 11. Let me show you. Next section. Let me do it again. We do that. We go to 15 of the E string, we strike it 1 time, then we go to 18 on the E string, 18, and we strike it just once. And next, we're going to strike 18 again, but this time we do a pull off to 15. That's the movement. So after we do the pull off back to 15, we go back to 18 on the E string, and we do 2 bends. There's going to be a 3rd bend, but on that one, we're going to do something else. That's the movement. So the 3rd bend, we do that. We do 1 more bend, we do the release, and then a pull off to 15, and then we just go to 18 and pull off back to 15. So let me show you the entire section. All right, so let me play this part, and then we go to the fast part of the solo. Okay, so the next section. So we're going to do something like that. It's I played it a little bit shorter, but that's good. Now this is what we're going to be doing. So after we do the 18 and then the pull off. After we do that, we need to quickly go to 18 on the B string, all right? And we strike 18 and we do a tiny bend. And next, we're just gonna repeat the same motion. After we do the bend, we strike 15 on the E string, and then we strike 15 again, and we go to 18, and then pull off to 15. And we repeat that motion like 4 times. That's the movement. The only thing is that we need to do it real fast several times. All right, so we do it like 4 times. Now the fifth time we're gonna do it is a little bit shorter. We're gonna do 18 again, all right? We start the same way, but this time instead of doing 15 twice, we do it just once, and then we go to 18, pull off to 15, and then we go to 18 of the B and 15 of the E. So let me play the whole section so it kind of makes sense. That's the idea. So instead of doing that, we do, that's the movement. So after we do that, we go to 18 on the E string and we do 2 bends. Just like previously, just like before, the 3rd bend, we need to do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 15, all right? So it's 3 bends, but the 3rd one, we need to do bend, release, and pull off. Let me show you. So after we do the pull off, we go to 18 on the B string, we do a bend, but this time we kind of need to keep the bend, keep doing the bend, and then you can strike with your pinky or whatever finger you want to use on the 18 of the E string. So in theory, in practice, we're going to be doing bend on the B on the 18 and striking on the 18 of the E string. So what we do is, again, we do a bend and we strike on the 18 3 times. And this is just the first time. Then we repeat the same motion, but we're gonna strike on the E18 of the E string just twice. All right, if you listen to the original track, this is the part where everything is gonna get a little bit, dirty. The wah-wah comes in, there's a little bit of more volume and distortion. So again, just let me show you the whole section and we just move forward to the next part. So if you listen to the original track, after we finish doing this, we need to do the same exact thing after this part, but everything goes just 1 bend, 1 on the 18, and we just keep doing that. Bend, 18. The only thing is that we need to do it faster. And after we finish doing that, we just slide to nothing. So again, let me show you the section in a slow tempo and then just move forward to the next one. Alright? So just like I told before, this part, it's real dirty on the song. Here comes the wah-wah and everything else. So again, if you have a wah-wah at home, this is this is where you need to start using it. Okay, so let's go to the next section. Okay, so the next section, we're gonna do something like that. And all this comes after the bend on the 18, we kind of do a slide and then we start the section. So again, this section, there's a wah-wah on top of this, so we cannot really, listen with a good quality just to know what he's doing. But I'm pretty sure, and everything, besides it's just on every tab in the world, this is what we're going to be doing. It's just a run. So what we do, we start on in the 11 of the E string, and we do one bend, and then we do a second bend, and we do a third bend. But the third bend, just like we did before, we do is release and a pull off from 11 to 8. That's moving. And after we do the release, we're gonna do that. Go to 11 on the E, pull off to 8, then 11 on the B, pull off to 8, then 10 on the G, pull off to 8, and then again, same idea on the D string, 10, pull off to 8. Now the final part, we do that. So we strike on the 10 of the E string, we do a pull off to 8, 8 slide to 6, and then we finish the same way. 8 pull off to 6, and then on the E string, 8 pull off to 6. So let me show you in a slow tempo. Again. That's the idea. Right? And again, on this part, there's a wah-wah. Alright, so the next section. Again, we're gonna do something like that, maybe it's not a real tempo, but that's what we need to play. So this is gonna be a very fast lick. We're gonna start doing that. So we're gonna slide to the, and this part, of course, is after we finish on the E string. We slide to the 10th of the B string, and after we do the slide, there's kind of a tiny bend. And we do 8 on the B string, back to 10 on the G string, and we do 10 pull off to 8. After we do that, we go back to 10 on the G string, strike, and we do a bend just like we did before. And now we're going to need to repeat the same movement just twice. When we do the bend on the 8, we go back, on the 10, we go back on the 8 of the B string, and we go to 11, and we do pull off to 8. And then we repeat the same motion. 10, tiny bend, 8 on the B, 11 on the B, pull off back to 8. So let me show you again. That's the movement. And after we do this 11 pull off to 8, we go back to 10 on the G string, there's a tiny bend again, and we go to 8 on the B string. And to finish, we do 11 on the B string, we do a bend this time, a release, and to finish, we do one more bend, release to 8, and we finish on the G string by doing 10, pull off to 8. Again, slow tempo makes no sense, but we need to do it real fast. One more time. So that's the movement. We need to do it real fast. And when we do 10 and then pull off to 8, we need to go to 11 on the G on the E string, and we need to do 2 bends. All right. Now the second bend has a release. So the first one, it's a bend. We kill it. Then the second bend, release. And what we're going to be doing is we do that. 8 on the E string, 11 on the B, 8 on the B, and and then we go to 10 on the G string, we do a bend, a release, and we strike twice on the 8th fret. Let me go again in slow tempo. Go again. There we go. The first one, I didn't do the release. So after we finish on the 8 on the G string, we're gonna do that. Something like that. We do go to D string, 10, pull off to 8, and now we go to A string and we do 10, pull off to 8, slide to 6. We kind of already did this a million times, but now there's a tiny change. After we do the 10, pull off to 8 and slide to 6, we go to 8 on the E string and we go back to 6 on the A string and we do a slide to the 8th position of the A string. Now the thing with this is that when we do a slide, we need to do a bar on the 5th and the 4th string. Let me just show you. Because when we go to 8 on the B string, we need to do alternate picking on that position. Alright, let me show you again. So that's the movement. So after we do, several times, we do alternate picking several times, we finish by going 8 again, hammer on to 10, we go to 8 on the G string, and we do 10 again on the G string, but this time we do a bend, a release, a pull off, and we finish on the 10th of the D string. So it's gonna sound something like that. Let me do this entire section a little bit slower, and then we just move forward to the next part. Alright, so that's what we need to do. So let's go to the next section. Okay, so the next section, we're gonna do... So we're gonna do something like that. Of course, this section has a lot more bends. So we slide to the 17 of the G string. We just do a slide, and then we go to 16 on the B. We strike it just once for now. There's a this is a longer note, and then we do 16 and we move to 18. Again, longer note, and then 18, slide to 20, and then 20 again. Let's go again. And when we strike 20 again, we go to 18 of the E string. And then to finish, we go to 20 of the E string and we do a lot of bends. Alright, listen to the original track, we need to do it several times. Then to finish this section, and I might need to tune the guitar again. So what we need to do is we finish that section just like this, and this is the end of the hard part of the song. So we go to 11 on the E string, we do one bend, we kill it, there's no release. Then we do a second bend, again we bend, there's no release. And at the third time we do a bend, a release, and a pull off to 8. That's the movement. And to finish, we need to go back to 11. It's just like what we did before, the other section. But this time we do 11, pull off to 8. Then on the B string, 11, pull off to 8. And now G string and 10 and pull off to 8. But we're gonna finish. We do that. We go back to 10 on the G string, strike it, do a bend, release, pull off back to 8, and we finish on the 10th of the D string. So let me, go again after the bends. So the next section is going to be, and then we do that. So we need to keep repeating the same lick because it's kind of the same lick on this section and then on this section. So we start on the 10th of the D string, right? Just 10, and then 7, 8, 10, and then 8 on the B string just once, and then we quickly go to 10 on the D string and strike it twice. Alright? And then we just repeat the same idea, but this time it's going to be here. So we go to 17 of the G string and we do 15, 16, and 18. And now we're going to go to 13 on the E string and we're going to slide to 15. There we go. And then we go back to 17 on the G string and we strike it twice. All right? There we go. So now we repeat the same idea back in this position. We start on 10 and we do, of course, 7, 8, 10. But this time, instead of just striking the 8, we're going to slide towards the 8. And we finish again on twice on the 10. Now, again, we just go back and repeat the same thing right here. But, this time, it's going to change a little bit. We start that way, and there's no need to do a slide right now. That part is just the same. And then we go to 17 on the G string, and we strike it once, and then we do that movement. We strike 17 again, pull off to 15, and we do the same motion, 17, pull off to 15. Let me just show you. Right? Then we just go back to this position and we repeat the lick again. Alright? And now to finish, and pretty much to finish the song, we go back to this lick, but we are going to end it on a different way. We are not going to go back to 17. We start the same way. Alright? That's the part is the same. And now we're going to change the things a little bit. And when we finish on the 18, we need to do pretty much what we did before on the previous solo. We go 18, we do a bend, and then we keep playing 18 with the bend, and then 18 on the E string. Alright? And now what we need to do is, again, repeat the same section. We do bend, we strike twice on the 18 of the E string, and we just repeat the same movement. And after we do these several times, again, we just repeat what we did previously. Right? So that's what we need to do. And at this point, the song starts, to fade. And there's a tiny, tiny lick that we can listen on the original track when the song is almost over. That is on the tab. You can check the tab on the website. You have the lick right there. It's a real simple lick. So, okay, so this is what we need to play. Again, some sections are really hard for beginners. If you have a lot of experience with the guitar, I hope this tutorial helped you to clear some of your doubts. And if you're a new player, a newbie with the guitar, some sections are going to be really hard for you. So you need to, instead of just try to play everything just like the tab or just like the song, you just can try to make your own. If it's too hard for you, try to do something fast, but in your own tempo. Instead of doing, what we did before, you can go slower. But the thing is that you need to end on the 8, start the same way, but always make sure you finish on the same place, or maybe, a different place that has the same note. Something like that, it doesn't matter. Just try to play your own. That's the beautiful thing about music. You can do whatever you want after a while. Okay, so I hope this tutorial helped you to play the song, and catch you on the next one.